as Chef just told you. And one thing about Italian cooking, which is my favorite cuisine, is fresh products. Italians generally will use fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And they're simple ingredients, but they just bring out the most incredible flavors. So
Yeah.
thank you for your heritage.
Talking about, well, speaking of heritage, I'm up the restaurant last Sunday, and Tom Menino's up there with 3 other guys, and he introduced me, and I said, this is Vinny Marino. So the guy says, hey, Vinny, he says, where's your family from in Italy? And I said, oh, they're from Sicily. And he says, oh, I thought you were Italian. I said, I thought so too. But apparently people think different. So I was just over Vincenzo's this afternoon, who was cooking up the rest of this stuff for us, and I was telling him, and he thought it was a riot. They're Calabrese, you know. But I don't know. I guess Sicilians aren't Italians.
Yeah. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Now, what about the
We're gonna
pimento?
throw the pimentos. That's the last thing. This is all.
Okay,
This
great.
is very good.
Okay.
We're in good shape. You want to try and do this?
Yeah, sure.
We'll do it with that scoop you got.
Yeah, I can use this
Okay.
for now. Okay.
Yeah, right with this.
Yeah, it's all right.
No?
That was fine.
Okay.
Either way, I'm a professional.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay,
And what did you need me here for? I could have been in work.
because you're a good chef,
Oh,
an
okay.
excellent top chef,
Yeah.
and we love you. That's
I'm
why.
not a chef, by the way. I'm a cook. I've had executive chefs that come into my restaurant, and it never worked out.
Yeah.
They want to change the meatballs. They want to change the marinara. I'm a simple guy that uses fresh ingredients.
Right.
Now I need that out, buddy.
Okay.
I don't know why.
Well,
why you didn't just leave it alone?
Well, because I was going to say
You're a pain
something,
in the butt.
but you kept talking.
Okay, go ahead.
So,
in here.
just so you know, if you have a busy schedule during the week, there's nothing wrong with bringing this pasta, cooking it a couple of days in advance, and then bringing it just before al dente. And then what you can do is what Chef just did.
Just
He
shock
shock it, okay? And don't forget, at home, a good chef always finishes his pasta in the sauce, because that sauce is good and hot, and so that you don't wind up with a mushy pasta. Get it out when it's al dente or just before, and then finish it like Chef is doing in the sauce right now.
Yeah. And you know, the other thing is when you're cooking in the restaurant, that water that we keep going and we keep,
Right.
you know, dipping in, it's starchier and starchier and starchier, and actually more and more flavorful. It really is. At the end of the night, it's better than the beginning of the night. You know?
Yeah. Now, one thing we generally talk about, and I've taken a little breather, but I'm going to mention it here again tonight. In a professional kitchen, you will not find table salt. They will either use kosher salt or sea salt. Reason being is kosher salt, sea salt, is a much larger crystal. It's a lot easier to control your portion. I firmly believe, even on the kosher salt, it has a much better flavor profile than your table salt. But also, by volume, not by weight, if you have a cup of kosher or sea salt next to a cup of table salt, your sodium content is reduced dramatically. Okay, so keep that in mind. And I go back again to what I just said about the flavor profile. I feel is much nicer with a good kosher or a sea salt. You don't need as much salt. You don't, if you're on a restricted diet with sodium, the larger crystal is a better way to go. All right, Chef.
And as you know, you're not supposed to use grated cheese with any fish in an Italian restaurant.
Right.
No one listens to us. Everybody wants cheese.
Right. We had a couple of years ago the corporate chef from Sal's or Salvatore's restaurant chain on, and I said, "Chef, we're going to put cheese? Are you crazy? You never put cheese on fish." Okay. We had the corporate chef from the Strager group, and he is from Sicily as well. fabulous chef. And just trying to make a point and tease him, I said, Chef, where's the cheese? You never put cheese on fish. And Giuseppe Musto, who agreed to prepare this dish tonight, I asked him, I said, Joe, you going to put little cheese? You never put, so that's an Italian thing. Fish is delicate, you don't need cheese.
Yeah, I know, but the customer's paying and they want cheese, you get cheese.
Right.
That's the bottom line. We're down the north end one day, and my friend insists on cheese, and the lady comes over and he says, here, and he gives her a sawbuck, and she says, my job is worth more than $10. Because if I give you this cheese, that chef will fire me. And the chef was a woman from Naples.
Oh,
So,
jeez.
oh, well.
Yeah, and some really top Italian chefs, they will, on a fish, they will only use sea salt because they want that seamless flavor. You will get some bit of an ocean flavor with sea salt, and that just complements the fish that much more.
Oh my God, this looks almost good enough to eat, Joe.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I'm
And
sure.
me and
it is.
Jonathan went down and got a slice of pizza at the Creek restaurant down the square.
Oh my God.
Now my taste buds are up. If you got
Okay.
a little,
Sure.
we'll get a little.
Yeah.
So we usually have a towel right in my back pocket, so
Right.
we always do this,
Yeah.
and then we'll sprinkle a little parsley or basil. Actually, I had some basil. I don't know what happened to it.
Okay.
Did you steal it?
No, I think one of your guests ate it.
Okay. All right. Whatever. So
Okay.
this is it.
That's great.
That's the shrimp siciliano.
Okay.
Yeah.
And people that I talk to about the brick house, and I'll say, have you been there? Oh my God, you go there, you can't finish what's on the plate. So you get a great meal there, that's for sure. And you get a great personality with you, Vinny, all kidding aside.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
Well, my daughter asked me to say
right.
that. You were a little down the past week, and so I'm just trying to cheer you up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The brick house is a small place, and we are busy every night. So about 2 weeks ago, 6 guys come down from the north end that I know at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night. You got a table for us, Vinny? No. It's in like an hour and a half wait. Vinny, it's me, Louie. Louie, it's me, Vinny. I can't, where am I going to see you?
Right.
There's a bench out front.
Yeah.
That's where they sat. That's where they got their food. Who comes out on a Saturday night without making a reservation? Only guys from the north end.
Right. Well, Vinny, this is a great dish.
Yeah,
I've
it
actually had this. And, I didn't mention this, but I think I have a minute or so. The very first show we did 2.5 years ago, Vinny was the chef for our first show. And this is your 4th time, I believe, on the show. And we always have a great time with him, and his food is exceptional. So thank you, Chef.
Yeah.
Thank you for having my daughter keep you in line and getting you here.
Tomorrow, I want to know.
Yeah, I don't know. You'll have to check that out. Okay. Well, thank you. This has been another show from the Chef's Table series. If you want to rewatch this show and actually get the restaurant, you want to cook with the chef, get your laptop, go on the website, which is the chefstableseries.tv. You'll have your recipe. You can watch the chef, follow his tips, and we hope you enjoy the show. Thank you for watching.
Good job, Joe.
Thanks, Vinny. Great job.
Hello everyone and welcome to this week's wine pairing. I'm Carol O'Connor. I'm here with John Paul Kaminga. He is the wine sommelier and wine manager at Blanchard's Wines and Spirits in Jamaica Plain. Today I gave him the task to find a wine that would pair very well with Vinny Marino's Shrimp Siciliano. Vinny is from the Brick House Cafe in Dedham. So John Paul, what did you choose today? I see that it's clear in a green bottle, so it's white,
Yep,
right?
it's white. It's a Greco from Campania. So this comes from a larger area, which
Oh,
doesn't
okay.
qualify it as Greco de Tufo, but Greco's the grape.
Okay, Greco's the grape. Okay, that's good to know.
Yep.
I was just going to ask him that. What's Greco?
It probably refers to the fact that it was brought over by the Greeks a very, very long time ago. It's a southern Italian wine, and in southern Italy there's a very large and ancient Greek influence. And who knows, maybe they just think it came from Greece at some point, or maybe it never did, but that's the idea anyways. It's one of the indigenous grape varieties down there, or thought of indigenous now anyways. And I thought it would go well with the dish because that dish just says southern Italy to me. All those flavors, the red peppers, the broccoli, the shrimp, that's not a dish you would find in northern Italy. That's something you would find probably in Campania, in Naples, or
Yep, I can see.
maybe
Yep.
Sicily. Or so,
Well, and that's where the recipe's from. It's from Vinny's Sicilian family. So
okay,
good
perfect.
job
There
on
we
that
go.
one.
So those are the reasons I thought it might go with the dish. You want to give it a try and
Yeah.
see what we think?
Yeah, let's see what the scent is. Oh, beautiful color.
Yeah, it's a little darker, maybe than your average white wine. Kind of a golden yellow color.
The swirl.
Yeah, the swirl. Yeah, and it's a lot, like a lot of other Grecos, has this really kind of exuberant, fruity, kind of stone fruit character, almost like peaches and melons and.
Yes, it's definitely fruity. Tart or sweet?
Well, kind of toes the line.
It does. I like my cheeks pucker on it.
Yeah,
But then I
they're,
found a nice sweetness to it.
it's very fruity, but the acidity is low, so you don't get a lot of really tart, citrusy flavors. Again, it's more those kind of soft, ripe fruit flavors, and there's a little kind of mineral flavor to it that keeps it clean and fresh on the finish. But it's not a very mineral wine. It's more focused on the fruit.
Right.
But still, you can imagine well chilled. This is, going to be really refreshing, perfect for shrimp and.
That's the word, refreshing. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. And it won't. And I can definitely see it going well with the shrimp. It's not going to overpower it. And even though the shrimp dish does have a lot of ingredients, it's not that spicy. So I feel like these will, the wine and the dish would meld well together.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure the audience will love it.
Cool.
Definitely. But John Paul, thank you
You're
for
welcome.
picking a great wine. And I feel like it's a wine that you can enjoy on its own.
Yeah, be pretty good on its own too.
Yeah,
nice
perfectly.
summer wine. Or actually, it's got some weight. You could even drink it throughout the winter.
Yeah,
Honestly, there's no reason not to drink whites and rosés in the winter. So.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's a good tip. Perfect. Okay, everyone, this has been this week's wine pairing for Vinnie Marino's Shrimp Siciliano, and we will see you next week with John Paul for the wine pairing of the week.
Hi folks, Steve LeCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro in Westwood, coming at you with this week's chef's tip. This week I just want to talk about an easy way to get pomegranate seeds out of the pomegranate. I remember when we were kids and we used to call these Chinese apples, and we used to quarter them like that, and then we sat around the table, and I think maybe my parents did it on purpose to keep us out of trouble and keep us occupied for a while. And we would just take teaspoons and try to pick out through all this membrane that's completely throughout a pomegranate. I love pomegranates, great winter use. You'll see them around all the time. They make beautiful holiday decorations, but they are naturally loaded with antioxidants. It's one of the healthiest fruits you can eat. But they have a nice tartness to them and a nice crunch to them too. And I like to contrast in things like salads with goat cheese, where you have a soft goat cheese. You have a nice contrast to that with the crunch from and the tartness of the pomegranate. We also tend to use it a lot on duck dishes or chicken dishes with maybe a sweet glaze, something with like honey and molasses or maple. You've got all that sugar going on that, so you want something tart to slice through that and balance out that dish. So pomegranate seeds seem to be perfect for that. But anyway, back to the original point. How do I get all those seeds out of there without spending half my life doing so? I just cut it in half horizontally. put your hand over a bowl, and just like the kid you wanted to keep occupied for hours getting those seeds out, give it a good spanking with a heavy kitchen spoon. And you'll see mostly just seeds come out of there. And to get the rest, just keep banging on it with that spoon, and they will come out like that, and you'll have a bowl full of these before you know it. Steve LeCount, chef owner of Chiara Bistro, and that's this week's Chef's Tip.
Hi, I'm Marjorie Gann, and I work at Ethos in Jamaica Plain, and we're an organization that serves elders and people of all ages with disabilities. I'm a registered dietitian, a wife and a mom, and I've been doing it for 30 years, so I have some practical ideas on how to bring good nutrition into your home. And one of the bases of good nutrition is portion size. And the other day, I had that whole concept brought home to me because I was making a recipe that called for 2 cups of flour. Same recipe that I've made forever, except this time I was making it from a 1950s cookbook where it told me that the yield was going to be 12 scones, whereas my 1980s cookbook recipe said it was going to yield 8. That's a pretty big difference in portion size. So I started thinking, well, that really is one of our problems in the US. So I want to talk a little bit about what portion sizes are and how we can affect them. So if we look at soda or tonic, if you happen to be from Massachusetts, we can buy a 90-calorie can, we can buy a 12-ounce 140-calorie can, or the 12-ounce 140-calorie bottle. Now what's really interesting is that if you look at the 12-ounce can and the bottle, which are really the same size, they really don't look the same. I think that, frankly, in my opinion, the bottle looks bigger. If you're buying the very large bottle, the serving size on the back is 12 ounces, so the same as the can and the larger bottle. And that really goes back to what is a portion size. The FDA has determined that 12 ounces is in fact the portion size for soda. But when it comes in a smaller single serving can, you actually use the single can as the serving size. So a little bit confusing? Absolutely. But it does make a difference because we're talking 50 calories here. Does it sound like a lot? Maybe not, but if you're someone who's drinking, say, 4 cans a day, which is not unusual, that's pretty significant. Another example of how you can get helped in the portion category is you can buy your animal crackers in the large category. Now this holds 65 servings. I don't know about you, but I have a terrible time figuring out what 1/65 is of anything. This is actually what 1/65 looks like. It's actually 28 animal crackers.